Hey guys, Gio here. So after living a complete month here in my condo in Bangkok, what does it really cost to live here in Bangkok, Thailand as a foreigner? So I tracked every single baht I spent in the month of September: rent, food, transportation, entertainment, and all of the little extras that add up. So I'm going to break it down category by category and briefly compare it to what I was spending back in the Philippines so you get a clear picture. Kind of a spoiler alert, but Bangkok is different in a lot of ways, but not always more expensive. In fact, in a lot of areas, as you will see, it is much cheaper. And in some areas in the Philippines, it is actually a little bit more expensive. You'll see in today's video. Stick around.
Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us. Keep living like this. Away from us, away from us.
So let's start with my rent, my condo here in Bangkok. My condo here in Bangkok cost me 17,500 baht per month. That includes pool, gym, garden area, security. It's pretty modern, it's clean, it's well built, and honestly, probably way more convenient than any condo that I've lived in the Philippines. The reason why I say that is because I can step out of my condo and everything is here. Massage shops, a golf driving range across the street. I have restaurants everywhere, street food, massage. I've got live music, just so much here. I mean, every restaurant I can think of, Middle Eastern, Japanese, sushi, ramen, Indian food, Thai food, just everything is just all right here at my fingertips in the BTS, so I can get all around Bangkok easily. It's literally like 300 meters away from my doorstep. So now for the comparison. In the Philippines, I was paying around 35,000 for my last condo in the Philippines. And it was a decent condo. So yes, Bangkok rent can be high, depends on where you live, and it can be much lower as well. In the Philippines, it also depends as well. But if we're comparing like apples to apples in a very modern city with all the conveniences and better infrastructure, I say Bangkok is the winner on that. But the overall quality and the conveniences are much better here, without a doubt. This has been the nicest condo and the most convenient condo I've ever lived in, to be honest, in my 9+ years in Southeast Asia. Now, food is probably one of the biggest differences here in Bangkok. I can grab street food for as little as $1 or $2 per meal, and it's not only inexpensive, it's delicious. So I usually eat a mix of street food, mid-range restaurants, and a little bit of grocery shopping. To be honest, I have not even bought pots or pans or anything like that, so I don't do any cooking, but maybe some quick meals that are already prepared, like a sandwich or a meal that I just simply have to microwave. Now, I'm going to throw up on the screen again what I was spending in dollars, but there will be a conversion right over here for the Thai baht and other currencies for here in Thailand. And then over here, I will have what I was spending in the Philippines previously. Now, so my monthly food spending, and that includes grabbing coffees, grabbing a little bit of groceries, grabbing some street food, and going to mid-range restaurants, came out to about $400 per month. That was a significant savings for me from the Philippines. Now, back in the Philippines, my grocery bill was a lot higher. I was doing a lot more cooking at home. I was eating out not all the time, and same with coffees. I had like a Keurig coffee machine, and going out, I didn't go out as much. But the one thing that was missing in the Philippines is you don't really eat inexpensive street food. The majority of foreigners won't do that. And if they do, you are kind of gambling with some stomach issues sometimes. It's not that they don't have some delicious street food. They do, with their different barbecue meats and things like that. But for the most part, most foreigners don't really eat street food in the Philippines like they do here in Thailand. That's a noticeable difference. A lot of people will do a lot more bigger grocery shopping and eat at mid-range restaurants. So that's almost not an option for a lot of people. So, but I'm spending about 400 US, and that again includes street food, mid-range restaurants, some grocery shopping, and some coffees out. And in the Philippines, I was spending around 600 to 700 US dollars for going out, coffees, and groceries. But eating out in the Philippines, especially at Western style restaurants, cost about the same as here, I find. In fact, here you can actually get a little bit lower. It's similar, but you can go really high end here in Bangkok, much higher than you really would even in the Philippines, to be honest. I mean, the big win though, and I think most people won't dispute this, is Bangkok, because Bangkok, again, you have the options of eating really inexpensive street food or even mid-range restaurants, and the variety of restaurants here is much greater. Now, again, the last place I was living in the Philippines was in Bacolod, and in fact, if you want to see a video that I did on my last monthly budget in Bacolod, Philippines, you can get that up above here. But pretty much whatever you crave here in Bangkok, you can get. You can get Mexican, Japanese, Korean, American hamburgers, Italian, pasta, Turkish, Lebanese food. I mean, whatever you want, they have it here in Bangkok. So transportation. Now, actually, I'm spending more here in transportation than I was in the Philippines. The reason why, in the Philippines, I was getting on these little buses, and this is in Bacolod, and I would spend 15 pesos to go down to the mall, or I would use the power of my legs and do some walking. Now here, I also had a motorbike there, so I could take some motorbike trips. I could drive out to different places and things like that. So here, if I want to go somewhere, I need to use my legs. I need to use Grab, or Bolt. Bolt is actually much cheaper. Download that app if you're going to come out to Bangkok, Bolt. And even the Philippines, actually. And I have to use the BTS. So the BTS and Grab, I probably spend about 100 US dollars per month. And I think I'm being a little on the high end, actually. It's probably closer to around 75 US dollars. Now, in the Philippines, honestly, I probably wasn't spending more than 40 US dollars on transportation. So there, the Philippines won out only because I had a motorbike. That was the big difference. But if we're talking about comfort and efficiency of transportation, then Bangkok wins out. If we're talking about a per ride basis, maybe the Philippines would win out on cost. And in the Philippines, I found that your lifestyle is much better if you have your own personal transportation. Here in Bangkok, it's not a necessary thing that you need to have. So lifestyle and entertainment. Gym memberships, well, I had a membership at Anytime Fitness in the Philippines. I was spending about 42 US dollars. Here, I don't have to have a gym membership anymore. I got rid of that. My gym in my condo is sufficient, and so I was able to cut that out. The gyms seem to be better in the condos here in Bangkok than at least what I've experienced in Cebu, Davao, Bacolod, Iloilo, other places like that. So again, I include coffee shops, dining out, nightlife, and some other fun things, and also massages. Massages I find to be similar in price, but they do a much better job here in Thailand. They seem to have the corner market on massages here in Thailand. There's way more variety and conveniences out here in Bangkok, and a lot more to do. Again, I don't think anybody would argue that. There's a lot more to do. Now, in the Philippines, a thing that I do miss is I was able to hop on my motorbike and go out to a lot of nature spots and take a ride, which I really, really enjoyed. I don't really have that here. I can go to some of the parks, but I'm going to have to take some trips to other cities to go really enjoy nature. It's not really happening in Bangkok here. The cinema here is a much better experience, but it's also a little bit more. There's also the adult entertainment here. If you want to go out, and sometimes I like to go with my buddies and go have a beer at the edge of Nana Plaza and watch all the girls that are coming into work. They start their shift at 9 p.m. and if you get there, there's a place right outside of Nana Plaza that you can sit, also Soy Cowboy, and have a beer at happy hour for about 100 baht. I'm not a big drinker. Maybe on the weekend I'll have one beer. And you sit out there and you watch all the girls hurry up and get to work, because otherwise, if they are not there by 9 p.m., they get 1,000 baht fine. And it's funny to see their boyfriends and stuff drop them off, and they're hurrying in their little skimpy outfits to hurry up and get to work because they don't want that 1,000 baht fine. Thanks to a good friend of mine, Chad, who told me about that. And he said, get there around 8, watch the girls getting dropped off in droves and hurrying up the girls last minute to get there on time. And it's quite the show. But you can spend a lot more on entertainment here in Bangkok. So utilities and miscellaneous. Now here's where it goes down in price for me quite a bit. On my phone, I'm only spending about $15 per month, and I get about 80 gigabytes per month and that's I always get 5G. Now in the Philippines, I was not getting 5G, and I was spending around the same price for a cell phone service, postpaid plan. I have a postpaid plan here as well, but I was only getting like 15 gigs per month, and now I'm getting 80 gig plus 5G. So it's a much better service, and nice because I can use it as a hotspot. I have no internet issues whatsoever. Now here at home, I only pay, I think, $17 and I get like 500 gigs up, 500 gigs down. It's phenomenal. In the Philippines, I was paying for like a 300 up, 300 down service. Rarely would I ever get that. Rarely. And some days I'd get 20 up, 20 down. And I'm like, what the heck am I paying for? And internet issues, sometimes it would go down for half a day. Other times it would just stop working. It would drag down. Other times it would go past 300. It was crazy. There was no consistency in it whatsoever. So I am spending less. I was spending about $40 for that plan in the Philippines. And here, again, I'm only paying about $17. My water bill was very similar to the Philippines. My water bill here was only 130 baht, which is around $4. And in the Philippines, about the same. It was about $3 or so. It was very cheap. Now, electric, the big wing goes to Thailand, because my electric here for the full month of September, I just got the reading and I just paid it, and that was only 1,394 baht, and I actually ran both my air cons much more than I think I would normally do it. I kind of did it as an experiment, and I was playing around with the settings to see which setting is best, and I've kind of figured that out now. So I actually expect my next electric bill to go down. But my electric bill, 1,394 baht, which is around $40. In the Philippines, I was spending over $100 each month. And that was just window types. And now I've got split types, one in the bedroom, one in the living room here. So Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand for the win on the electric and the utilities, services like that. I still have my streaming services, my VPN, my Netflix, my Amazon Prime. I think I have Hulu. So I have like 3 streaming services that I use, and never have an issue with buffering or anything. Never. I did have issues in the Philippines. Sometimes it would lag, and I'd get that spinning, like on Netflix and things like that. By the way, a lot of people ask me how I manage and live and travel throughout Southeast Asia. Whether it's booking flights, finding the right gear, or just making life overseas easier, that's why I put together my Geo Travel Essentials shop. It is a curated list of the tools, services, and gear I personally use for living, traveling, and even retiring out here in Southeast Asia. If you're curious, I'll drop the link below in the description and also the pinned comment. Feel free to check it out. Get your free moving or traveling out to Southeast Asia PDF on the main page on GIOINTHEGO.net or GIOINTHEGO.com, either one. And you can also click the Geo Travel Essentials shop, where you can pick up all the gear that I personally use for living or traveling throughout Southeast Asia. So just to give you context, back in the Philippines, my average monthly expenses were around $1,800 US. And so Bangkok came out to less, depending on how you look at it, around $1,500 US. And that is with, a little more on transportation, a little more on entertainment, but much less on electric, much less on food. Food is a big one, and the rent was a little bit less as well. Plus, I don't have a gym membership anymore. So all of that, brought it down for me. So was Bangkok more expensive than the Philippines? In some areas, yes. Entertainment, dining out can be more expensive because there's much more availability to go high end, like rooftop bars and things like that. The entertainment can be much more expensive. Rent and transportation can definitely be higher, although my rent actually came down some. Food can be way less in Bangkok because you have the option of the street food. And restaurants, like I'll go eat a really nice breakfast, like $6 US. In the Philippines, I was spending around 12, almost double. Not to say that there are not restaurants available in the Philippines, but in Bacolod, where I was living, there really wasn't a great breakfast place that compared to what I was eating here in Bangkok. No, it was at least double the price. But food, lifestyle options, and overall convenience kind of balance out for me here. I feel like I get more value for what I spend here, especially with how modern everything is. So my first month in Bangkok has been pretty eye-opening for me. I really thought I'd be probably spending more than the Philippines, but it actually ends up that I'm spending less, and I feel the quality of my life has gone up a lot. Like a lot with food, entertainment, the infrastructure. The condo that I live in is honestly much better than any condo I had in the Philippines as far as well built. It's well built, it's solid, you can tell, you can tell this thing is built to last, versus in the Philippines, some of the condos I've lived in weren't the best. After a few years, they just started to deteriorate, and nobody really kept up with upkeep on them. So I'll keep sharing updates as I continue to live here. Next month, I'll give an even more detailed breakdown of what I spent for the entire month. And I won't be comparing it to the Philippines anymore. I just thought the first month people might be interested in that. So a lot of people expressed, hey, are you spending more or less than what you did in the Philippines? So this first budget video, I wanted to include that. So guys, if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit the like button, subscribe for more cost of living videos across Southeast Asia, and don't forget to check out my Geo Travel Essentials shop on my website at GIOINTHEGO.net or GIOINTHEGO.com. And I will see you in my next video.
Southeast Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Geo, let's go before it's too late.